Hello and welcome to Getter Farms. Today, we're starting off a new Let's Play series on Farmville, North Carolina, and we're going to be jumping into some large-scale hog farming on this playthrough, I think. But before we can do that, we're going to need to make just a few changes to the starting farm, as well as a few other spots around the map. And so we're going to be jumping into that here real quick in a time-lapse segment. Alright, with that little bit of landscaping done, we have got our farm kind of set up, I think, how we're going to start out with. We do have a bunch of mods here with this large hog enclosure, including this awesome feed trailer. So we're going to be playing around with all of this stuff in series and really just trying to see how it all works. This hog enclosure is capable of holding 2,400 animals here, and so I think what we're going to be doing is grabbing a handful of these to get started with. I'm not sure how much pig feed this is going to take to run, so I'm thinking maybe we start with 50, and I think we're going to get just these standard looking ones here, and I can't type in here, so bear with me a moment. So it looks like the most I can buy at a time is 60, and I am going to get the more expensive ones here so that we can skip the puberty stage and get right into making more pigs. And so I think this is going to be a good place for us to start. In 4 months, we'll have doubled up our pigs. If we feel like we can keep up after we get some corn harvested here, we'll buy some more. I'm not too worried about it. I am planning on not hauling things in with a semi, because as we get up to 2,400 animals in this enclosure, there's just no way I'm going to be able to move thousands of pigs. If we take a look here in the store, under animal transport, at least using the base game semi here, the most that we'd be able to haul is 36 at a time. No, thank you. Now, I know there are some mods that have a little bit more capacity here. Even if I was hauling them 100 at a time, that's a lot of trips. I'd rather pay the transfer fees to make that easier on us, have somebody else do the pickup and hauling for us. So this is where we're going to start things off. If we run over here to the farm and do just a little bit of an equipment tour, I do have the AGI pack installed, so we're able to use this AGI Westfield auger here on the output. However, this was not one that came with the pack. This is a mod that I downloaded because the auger that comes with the pack, the biggest Westfield auger, wouldn't get up to the top of these larger GSI bins. So we had to outsource that to a mod, and we do have this lovely Mack truck pack. This is on the in-game mod hub, and so I'm really excited to use this in the series. And then if we jump into the shed here, we've got a John Deere 630 disc that we're going to be using as our tillage here. I am going to use the Kubota M8 that just came with the Kubota DLC. Try that out. And we've got the 16-row case planter here from Custom Modding that recently released on the Mod Hub. Maybe not so recently. I've been out of the circle for a couple of months here, but I can't wait to put that thing through its paces. We do have one of my favorite grain carts here, at least in FS22 so far, the Demco PosiFlow grain carts. We've got the 650. I felt like that'd be appropriate. And then courtesy of Pleasant View Farms, we do have a Gleaner N7 here with a modded header that we're going to be using. And this is going to be a good starting point for us. And I can't forget about our handy Ford Super Duty here. We're going to be using this. This is our go-to truck. Huge shout out to Jonathan DuBois over at Northwest Mods and Edits for hooking us up with this. And it's still my go-to truck here in FS22. If we just jump up here and fly over to town, the other thing that you would have noticed that I was putting in here was this feed building. And this is another one of the mods that comes as part of the Hog Enclosure that we've got going on here. And this is going to allow us to create pig feed from corn, I believe. So if we come up here and look, it is a production chain. I do own this production chain because I placed it down. And so we're going to be using this to create all of our pig food for the series. And this is going to give us a good use for a lot of that corn. We'll see how this works. I know a lot of people aren't overly happy about having to use all the root crops for their pig feed. I know when we were making pig feed, it was a lot of corn and soybeans mixed with a few other things to balance it out, but primarily a corn and soybean feed back in the day. And so I'm really excited to put this through its paces. I did decide to put this up in town rather than to put it on our farm because I felt like it fit in a little bit better here right in the middle of town. So whoever the farmer is that owns this sunflower field, hopefully he's not going to mind. There was a pretty good sized field there, so a little corner coming out of field 27, not going to be that big of a deal. Likewise, we closed up the end of this field that we own to put the hog enclosure. I felt like this would be a good spot for it, a little bit back away from the farm site, but still very accessible. We've left ourselves a lot of room to turn around with these big trucks and stuff, and that keeps this other field a very manageable size for us. And then I've gone ahead and started us out with some corn here in our other field. We've only got these two fields on either side of the farm as our starting fields. I think we are going to be knocking out some contracts and stuff in this playthrough. And really, my goal is to try out a lot of different mods. It's been so long since I did a Let's Play series and had videos coming out on a regular basis. So let's go ahead and have some fun with it is the motto of the series. I also can't wait to give this little, it's not a greenhouse, but planter beds a shot. There's a lot of flexibility here with this. As you can see, we can just grow things with water like you can the standard greenhouses, I believe, but we can also put seeds and fertilizers in here, either solid fertilizer or manure, and get a lot more product out of this. And so we may have to figure out how to get those pallets up to a sell point or something like that at an appropriate point in time. So with that, we're gonna wrap up our starting episode here, just getting the farmyard set up. And I thought, why not take you guys along for that journey, walk you through the equipment that we're gonna be using here to get started. And as I've said, we're gonna be trying out a ton of different mods on this series, playing around with some things that I've never used before in Farm Sim, and see how it goes. So hopefully you enjoy this series. Can't wait to get started in the next episode. That's all for today. Keterk out.